round 8, or I think I'm going to start calling them heats of QU12, and we're in the heart of Staffordshire at Weston, overlooking the River Trent, in a pub called the Saracens Head, a pub renowned for its absolutely fabulous food. It's in a gorgeous setting, and talking about gorgeous things, we've got a stellar cast once again. We've got 8 contestants again. We're well represented locally. There's some people coming in from out of town trying to steal the money. And our first contestant is
Anne Brooke from Weston Village. I play for the Saracens Head in the Trent Valley quiz team. I have been on Millionaire twice. I haven't been Fastest Finger. I've been on the People Versus, where I was a winner.
My name's Martin Riley from Lytham in Lancashire. Once upon a time, a long time ago, I was actually a 15-to-1 champion.
Hello, my name's Scott Dawson from Stoke-on-Trent, and I'm a contestant on Brain of Britain 2007.
Hi, I'm Chris Curtis from Bicester in Oxfordshire, and I'm a former Milton Keynes Quiz League Player of the Season.
Hello, Nick Duffy, Hellraiser from Preston, Lancashire. I've been on the semi-finals of Mastermind and Millionaire, but we don't like to talk about that.
Hi, I'm Lee Warburton from Bradford. I've been in the chair on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a winner on Brain Teaser, and one of the winning members of the BBC Radio 4 Master Team quiz.
Keith Poynter, I play in the Newcastle Independent Quiz League, the South Cheshire Quiz League. I've been on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire but didn't get in the chair, 15-to-1. But my main role in quizzing is Scott's driver.
I'm Neville Brooke. I've been on Millionaire 3 times but never reached the hot seat. I live locally in Weston.
So we've got some people who are going to be practicing their speed today, and next time we see them with Chris Tarrant, they'll be sitting in a big black chair. Round 1, 12 minutes of questions. Each question's correct answer is worth 1 point. Won't be tied to you if you get one wrong, you lose half your points. Nice dynamic handicapping system. I hope everybody's ready to start. Fingers on the buzzers, ladies and gentlemen. Your 12 minutes will be starting now. Which former US Vice President is to be...
6. Chris Curtis.
Al Gore.
Al Gore is correct. The Nobel Peace Prize for 2007. Go on, Al. Second question. Staffordshire, Derbyshire, Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire and Lincolnshire comprise the banks of which river?
9. Keith Poynter.
The Trent.
The Trent is a good guess. Well done. 1 point, Keith. Third question. Kate Blanchett and Judi Dench nominated for Best Actress Oscar and Best...
4. Martin Riley.
Both by Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth is correct. And with regular numbers you can miss the first one off, that's okay. Which King of England, name and number wanted on this one, was nicknamed Lionheart?
5. Scott Dawson.
Richard I.
Richard I is correct. The song, Climb Every Mountain.
6. Chris Curtis.
The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music is correct. The sound of the pub more like. 0.909 is what?
9. Keith Poynter.
Come on, Keith.
It's the decimal fraction of a yard to a metre.
No. 0.0909 is what vulgar fraction to 4 decimal places?
Martin Riley.
1/11.
1/11 is correct. It's a polite round of applause for a brave man. According to Trevor Montague, wood is the traditional gift for which wedding anniversary?
Nick Duffy.
3rd.
I'm afraid not. Lose half your points.
Scott Dawson.
1st.
Not first, that's paper.
Anne Brooke.
10.
Not 10, I'm sorry.
Keith Poynter.
2nd.
Not second.
Lee Warburton.
4th.
Not fourth.
Neville Brooke.
5th.
Neville, how did you know that? When I did, well done. Neville gets the points and lots of people go shimmering little fractions away. Not down to 1/11th yet though, well done. Which is the largest island in the Mediterranean?
4. Martin Riley.
Sicily.
Sicily is correct, Martin. Written originally by Thomas Kinnelly. Which film would...
6. Chris Curtis.
Schindler's List, the book was Schindler's Ark.
That's both correct, well done, thank you. 10th question. Fang, Grimwig, Mr. Bumble and Bill Sykes.
Anne Brooke.
Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist is correct. The last oil-fired passenger steamship to cross the Atlantic in scheduled line of service launched in September 1967. In 2000,
Martin Riley.
QE2.
QE2 is correct. Who won Great Britain's only silver medal on the track at the Sydney Olympics?
Chris Curtis.
Charlie Southerton.
Unlucky, not Kelly Southerton. She was good on Question of Sport last night though.
Lee Warburton.
Darren Campbell.
Is correct answer.
Oh, no,
Nice
Olympics.
brag. Yes, I agree. What is the record number of goals scored in a Premiership game up to the...
Scott Dawson.
11.
Correct! Up to September the 29th, 2007. What a game. The source of what is given as Lake Itasca at one.
Scott Dawson.
The Mississippi.
Awesome answer, well done. Mississippi is correct, 1 point. 15th question. Which town is the administrative centre of Clwyd?
Nick Duffy.
Cardiff.
Not Cardiff.
Anne Brooke.
Carnarvon.
Not Carnarvon.
Lee Warburton.
Denbigh.
There's no obligation to press, you know. I will terminate the question after a while. It's mould. What a tough question. Can't let that one and stretch a few people out. Which number? The International Dialing Code for Japan? A short film by Stephen Burke. The Interstate Freeway between Tennessee and New York. The atomic number of thallium with the binary notation 01010001 and the Roman notation LXXXI. What is 3 to the...
Martin Riley.
81.
81. Did you get that from the atomic number of thallium or the Japanese?
Yeah.
What English name is given to dizyberflote? Kate.
Martin Riley.
The Magic Flute.
Yeah, could you pronounce it properly for me as well?
Zauberflotter.
Yeah, it's just
I think.
perfect, I was. With 7 minutes to go. Svenska Aeroplan Aktai Bolgat.
Saab.
Duffy.
Saab.
Saab is correct for your first point, well done. What is the Hungarian word for what is pimenton in Spain? Colorado.
Nick Duffy.
Paprika.
Good answer, well deduced. Asian arowanas, panda corridoras, zebra danios and neon tetras are
Martin Riley.
The aquarium fish.
aquarium fish cementing your lead. A home run in baseball, the Vietnamese currency, an Edward Lear's creature with a luminous...
Chris Curtis.
Dong.
Dong is correct. Thank you for not allowing me to finish that question. The venue for the water sports in the 1948 Olympic Games, the setting for the film Blackball, the site of...
Keith Poynton.
Wembley.
Not Wembley.
Wembley Pool.
The site of QU12 2007, round 3, what town is the setting for Faulty Towers?
Scott Dawson.
Torquay.
Torquay is the correct answer. Did you get that from QU12?
I did, yeah.
Well done, mate. In which war was the Battle of the Atlantic fought?
Nick Duffy.
World War II.
World War II is correct for another point. In 1975, who became the first black male...
Chris Curtis.
Arthur Ashe.
Yes, you knew it was going to be after that when I sniffed. Right, next one. In October 2007, make sure you're up to date if you're going to do this quiz. In October 2007, which band allowed their album?
Scott Dawson.
Radiohead.
Well done. Did you buy it?
I didn't know.
In rainbows to be sold online. Whatever price the customer wishes to pay. Well done.
They have to pay me.
Apart from being unelected, what did the men who succeeded Abraham Lincoln,
Nick Duffy.
They're both named Johnson.
both named Johnson, is a great answer, Nick. Tiffany, Peggy, Little Mo, Phil and Grant all share which...
Lee Warburton.
Mitchell.
Mitchell is the correct answer. Think you're handy, do you? The Lions are the nickname of which English football team?
Nick Duffy.
Millwall.
Millwall is correct. Gold Rush, 1924. Modern times.
Keith Poynton.
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin, very close person. I was sure it was in there. Well done, Keith. Charlie Chaplin's the correct answer. Married to Bobby Willis for 30 years.
Keith Poynton.
Cilla Black.
Awesome. What do the initials DVD stand for?
Nick Duffy.
Digital versatile disc.
Yeah, or you could accept digital video disc, or I could accept absolutely nothing. Could be a figment of some scientist's imagination. Permanently beached in Long Beach.
Chris Curtis.
Queen Mary.
Queen Mary, our second ship question. Well done. James Dougherty, spelled D-O-U-G.
Keith Poynton.
Husbands of Marilyn Monroe.
Round of applause. Can you see through this paper? Awesome answer. We're going to Peter for a roundup after this. The only one word American state to contain the name of another state. Of which state was Bill Clinton?
Lee Warburton.
Arkansas.
Out on your own, Arkansas. Great answer. So we're going to go over to Peter for a roundup of the scores and see how much time we've got left.
Okay, thanks, Steve. That was an excellent round this time for Nick Duffy. Well done, Nick. He's on 6 points now. Martin Riley is just ahead of him on 7. We then have a group in the middle. Scott Dawson on 4.5. Chris Curtis on 4.5. Keith Poynton on 3 1/8. And Lee Warburton on 2.5. In the danger zone at the present moment, although there's nearly 3 minutes to go in this round, are Neville Brook on a point and Dan Brook on half a point.
Okay, so you guys who are above 2 points, sit on that lead. Good luck, everybody else. Lufthansa is the airline.
Lee Warburton.
Germany.
Germany is the correct answer. You were 700th of a second behind there, Anne. Very unlucky.
It's my age.
The Big Oak Tree, Ike's Pond, and Ray's Creek are all features of which course?
Lee Warburton.
Augusta.
Augusta, very solid. Dinner Ladies was written and created by
Keith Poynton.
Victoria Wood.
Victoria Wood is the correct answer. Well done. Los Angeles is how many hours behind Greenwich Mean Time?
Lee Warburton.
8.
Great answer in a position which you can't afford to lose any points. Well done. Odyssey, Express and Reconnaissance share orbits around which planet along with 2 moons? Phobos.
Scott Dawson.
Mars.
Mars is correct. Pump up the volume. Just over 2 minutes to go. Which aid to the upwardly mobile was invented in 1853 by Elisha?
Keith Poynton.
Filofax.
Martin Riley.
The elevator.
The elevator. Ah! What is the Russian word for dog immortalised when in
Scott Dawson.
Laker.
Leica is the correct answer. On the 4th of August 1998, who was at number 1 with Viva Forever?
Nick Duffy.
The Spice Girls.
The Spice Girls. Are you a collector?
Oh yes.
Which Errol Garner song, More Music, was a hit for Johnny Mathis in...
Scott Dawson.
Misty.
What a wonderful tune it was as well, and a great answer. Which British monarch ordered the execution of Mary, Queen of Scots?
Anne Brooke.
Elizabeth I.
You won't get the same answer twice in 15 to 1, would you? Well done. After which US president was the teddy bear nicknamed?
Chris Curtis.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore is the correct answer. Which town is home to Tattersall's, the national stud?
Lee Warburton.
Newmarket.
Newmarket is correct. Which monkey possesses a blood factor otherwise found up?
Chris Curtis.
Rhesus.
Rhesus is the correct answer. Siobhan Donaghy met Keisha Buchanan.
Nick Duffy.
Sugar Babes.
Sugar Babes, and we're going to Peter for a round-up after the next question. Who won the first Rugby Union World Cup held in...
Lee Warburton.
New Zealand.
New Zealand is correct, and we've got just under a minute left. How are we shaping up?
Just behind now we have Keith Poynton on 2 1/8, Anne Brooke on 1.5, and Neville Brook on 1. So for these 2 danger places, there are 3 contenders.
Next question. On this day, the 14th of October in 1066, which battle took place in...
Neville Brook.
Hastings is correct. Which American Indian tribe shares its name with the state capital of Wyoming?
Martin Riley.
Cheyenne.
You couldn't resist, could you, Martin? We've got just under 15 seconds left. A character in James Bond in Star Trek. What is the 17th letter of the British alphabet?
Scott Dawson.
Q.
Q. Who recorded the original version of What Becomes of the Broken Hearted?
Nick Duffy.
Jimmy Ruffin.
Jimmy Ruffin is correct. It's time. We're going to go to Pete to see if a last question can affect the result.
As here we are with one final question to go. It is extremely delicately poised in the position of 6th and 7th. Keith Poynton has 2 1/16 positive points, and Neville Brook a straight 2. Just below them both is Anne Brook, present moment 1.5. It's still possible for any of those 3 to qualify.
Last question. Keith, are you going to press or not? Let's have a look at the question. Fingers on the buzzers, those of you still in contention. Boom slangs and watermark.
Keith Poynton.
Snakes.
How far was Anne behind there?
Very close.
0.3 of a second. Very unlucky. Keith, you've made yourself through. Well done. Great round, everybody. And that's the end of that particular round. Very, very unlucky to do, Brooks. We've only got one left with us now. But it was great seeing you here, and hopefully we can see you again some other time. So thanks for coming, and see you next year, I hope. And don't forget to enter your team in the Q12 team quiz, which we'll be having in February and March. We'll send you more details. I'll look on the net at q12.com. Give them a round of applause, please. Head. Round 2, I really don't know when I look along here who's going to win. I don't know if Peter's got an opinion who you pick out of this lot, but there's been some awesome pressing.
No, I think this is going to be a very close call, Steve. It's been very close so far, no reason to suspect it will be anything other than that right to the death.
What fun we've got. 12 questions, fellas. Very good luck. It shouldn't take too long to resolve this particular round. Here we go. What name is shared by the winner of the first 2 Melbourne Cups? A Batman villain played by Art Carney in the episode Shoot a Crooked Arrow. For 4 points, the SB-17 PDR Valentine Mark I self-propelled gun and 7 ships of the British Royal Navy, including a World War II aircraft carrier. For 3 points, the captain of the first Starship Enterprise. For 2 points,
Scott Dawson.
Pike.
I'm sorry. For 2 points, the Baron of Weston Supermare.
Nick Duffy.
Archer.
Archer is the correct answer for 2 points. Which country's flag comprises 3 horizontal bands? Yellow on top, red on the bottom, and the blue centre containing a semicircle of 8 yellow stars?
Scott Dawson.
Venezuela.
6 points. Which actor was born the 3rd of January 1956 in Peekskill, New York, USA? He was the first person to be awarded People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. They didn't know about me. Married to Robin Moore, he has 7 children. In films, he has been cast as John Smith and Rocky. Also, for 2 points, Fletcher Christian, Brett Mapp.
Chris Curtis.
James Garner.
Not James Garner.
Lee Warburton.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson is the correct answer. 2 away for Chris and 2 positive for Lee. Who, for 6 points, shared the birth year with Galileo? For 5 points, did not die in Deptford in 1693.
Martin Riley.
Pocahontas.
Not Pocahontas.
Chris Curtis.
William Shakespeare.
Is the correct answer. Well deduced. Good. 5 points, minus 5 for Martin. What a round. Question 5 of 12. Who lived from 1869 to 1917? For 5 points, born in Texas, became a professional musician composing and playing the piano. For 4 points, composed Max Majestic.
Martin Riley.
Scott Joplin.
Is 4 points back again. Who were founded on the 6th of March 1902. Their badge contains a purple band representing the Kingdom of Castile. For 4 points, they have a successful basketball team.
Martin Riley.
Barcelona.
Not Barcelona.
Lee Warburton.
Real Madrid.
You know that's the correct answer, don't you? Real Madrid is correct. For 7 points.
You what? Do it again.
Question 7. Which animal, for 6 points, is only one of 2 species to spot ossicones on their heads? For 5 points, the ossicones normally might be found some 5 metres above the ground. For 4 points,
Martin Riley.
Giraffe.
is correct. 5 points. I've not started question 4. Who, as a student, suffered a detached retina, probably in an accident playing rugby, and was left blind in his left eye?
Nick Duffy.
Che Guevara.
Not Che Guevara. For 5 points, MP for Kirkcaldy.
Martin Riley.
Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown is the correct answer. Peter.
Okay, with 4 questions to go. In the lead at the present moment with 6 positive points is Martin Riley. Lee Warburton has 5. Scott Dawson and Chris Curtis both have 3 points. On 0 at the moment, Keith Poynton, and -4, Nick Duffy.
Nick, you need a couple of early ones. 4 questions left. Which gas, with a radiative forcing of about 1.5 watts per metre squared, for 5 points, is currently at a concentration of approximately 385 parts per million by volume in the Earth's atmosphere? For 4 points, that's up from about 284 parts per million.
Chris Curtis.
Carbon dioxide.
Is the correct answer. Get the Nobel Prize. Well done. What am I describing? One resident of Los Angeles, California, has decorated his house and grounds with 23 reduced-scale replicas of what? For 5 points, of his plaster cast copy in London's Victoria and Albert Museum. Other replicas are found in Surfers Paradise Shopping Mall, Australia, and Pune, India, along with other locations. For 4 points, the original has been replaced by a replica in the Palazzo Vecchio, while the original has been kept in the Accademia Gallery in
Scott Dawson.
Michelangelo's David.
is the correct answer, Scott. Well done. Valuable points with 2 questions left. We'll go to Pete when the penultimate question's finished. Whose books include Chart Throb from 2006, High Society from 2002, for 4 points, Popcorn from 90.
Nick Duffy.
Ben Elton.
Ben Elton is a great answer in the situation and brings it back in contention. All to play for, 2 people to get knocked out. Nick, Lee, Keith, and anybody else who'd like to join in. In which country were the following people born? Actress Rose McGowan. For 5 points, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Keith Poynton.
Spain.
Spain, I'm afraid. You're out of here. Nick, do you want to guess?
No.
For 4 points, sportsman and actor Bud Spencer. For 3 points, record producer Giorgio Moroder. For 2 points, the ambling help Primo
Duffy.
Canera.
Italy.
Italy is correct, but it's only 2 points, and I'm afraid, Peter.
I'm afraid despite answering that question well, Nick wasn't able to bring his score up enough, and therefore we unfortunately lose him on 2 points, as we also do Keith. The remaining players are now safe and go into the final.
Well done, fellas. Another absolutely fabulous round with an incredibly complex dynamic to it. Well done and unlucky, Nick and Keith. We'll be back in just a couple of moments for the final of this wonderful competition. sure that any self-righteous team in England would love to have Keith Poynton and Nick Duffy playing for them. Nevertheless, they will take the hindmost and it took them. We've got 4 fantastic players left, Martin, Scott, Chris and Lee. I really don't know which way this one's going to go. I am going to tip Martin. Martin, over the previous 2 rounds, has got a score under his belt and kind of stayed there. Let's see what happens when he goes under pressure. It's 1 point for a correct answer. You have got 3 lives only. Get 3 wrong answers and you're out. First to 12. Good luck, all players. In which film is the following scene? The rain begins, the mood darkens, a lone hero ponders his entrapment. A Western Union delivery man appears with a letter.
Scott Dawson.
Back to the Future Part 3.
Sorry. A Western Union delivery man appeared with a letter which he explained was given to them 70 years ago with explicit instructions that it be delivered at this exact location at this exact minute, November 12th.
Martin Riley.
Back to the Future too.
I'm afraid so. That is so unlucky, Scott. Full names required. Give 2 members of McFly. Sorry, girls. Tom Fletcher, W. Pointer, Danny Jones, I had to look at Harry Judd, Harry Matt, Christopher Judd. What is made by a Fletcher?
Chris Curtis.
Arrows.
Arrows is correct for 1 point. Next question. 5. Britney Spears and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts have all had major hits.
Scott Dawson.
I Love Rock and Roll.
Yeah, by a 1/10 of a second in front of Chris, unlucky. In geology, give the 3 major rock.
Martin Riley.
Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic.
1 point. What is a metamorphic form of limestone?
Lee Warburton.
Marble.
Is the correct answer, Lee. With a board value of £350, what is that fact?
Chris Curtis.
Park Lane.
You like your Monopoly questions, don't you? Different end of the board this time. With what animation company is Nick Park?
Chris Curtis.
Ardman.
Ardman is the correct answer. Wheelston, Wimbledon, Leeds United, Sheffield United, Chelsea and QPR were the club.
Chris Curtis.
Vinnie Jones.
Were the clubs of which ballet dancer? I'm sorry. Yes, Vinnie Jones. Of which Ardman? Vinnie Jones. Which Womble was named after a river?
Martin Riley.
Orinoco.
Is the correct answer. 11th question. Who lived 8 and 20 years all alone in an uninhabited island on the
Martin Riley.
Robinson Crusoe.
at the mouth of the Orinoco, believe it or not? I never knew that until I set this question. Robert, Kenneth, Tony and Anne Robinson have all presented which long...
Scott Dawson.
Points of view.
Again by a 1/10 of a second from everybody. What term describes the shortest distance between 2 points?
Martin Riley.
Straight line.
A line, yeah. Pennsylvania and Delaware separated from Maryland and West Virginia by a line named after
Scott Dawson.
Mason-Dixie line.
Mason.
Dixie line.
Martin Riley.
Mason-Dixon.
Mason-Dixon line.
Dixon.
Oh, no, I can't believe you're doing it. Mason-Dixon. Chips of what are found in a Maryland cookie?
Chris Curtis.
Chocolate.
Do you like them?
No.
Who had a UK #1 with sweet like chocolate?
Scott Dawson.
10, 9. Time's up, mate. I'm sorry, you are out of here. Give him a little round of applause.
Lee Warburton has to answer.
Shanks and Bigfoot.
Shanks and Bigfoot is
It's in
the
there somewhere.
correct answer. Anybody who's watching this, once you are into the lives, they creep up on you so quickly. Peter, are you going to give us a roundup?
Well, yes, sorry to see Scott go out like that, but we have 3 remaining players. Martin Riley is on 6 points, Chris Curtis on 5, Lee Warburton on 2. All of them have all 3 lives still intact.
You can afford to be cavalier, gentlemen. The last question was Shanks and Bigfoot. The next question is, what is the alternative? Nate,
Chris Curtis.
Sasquatch.
you've got the hang of it. Well done. What term's modern usage originated in 1810 after Alexander von Humboldt used it as a collective term applied to all the people linked by trade, custom, religion and language to the Mexican state and the Triple Alliance, i.e. pre-Columbian native Mexicans?
Lee Warburton.
Aztecs.
Yeah, the obvious one, well done. To coincide with the Mexico World Cup, in what year were Aztec bars launched?
Martin Riley.
1970.
Yes. Brave Presley, what happened? Next question. You get a bottle of wine bonus for singing the answer. Allowing a single word error, what are the first 12 words of Back Home by the England 1970 World Cup squad?
Chris Curtis.
Back home, we'll be waiting and watching, for we are far away.
You win one bottle of wine, but you lose a life. Any guesses on that one? It's back home, they'll be thinking about us when we are far away. But you haven't gone away empty-handed yet. 2 lives left. Far away. Approximately 2.5 million light years away with the designations Messier 31, M31 or NGC 224, in what constellation is the furthest object visible to the naked eye from Earth? Oh, Barry, you'll be tearing your hair out. It's Andromeda, the galaxy of Andromeda. In classical mythology, who found an unchained Andromeda? Eventually...
Martin Riley.
Perseus.
Perseus is correct. Well done, Martin. You've gone to 8 points. The birthplace of Perseus. To what name were Green Shield stamp catalogues shot?
Chris Curtis.
Argos.
Argos is correct. Sorry about the pronunciation. What does the Argos own brand Elizabeth Duke specialise in?
Chris Curtis.
Jewellery.
Jewellery is correct. We'll be going to Peter after this. Of what type of gem is the 563.35 carat Star of India?
Martin Riley.
Diamond.
It's not a diamond, lose a life. Star of India, the largest example. Free guess?
Emerald.
It's a sapphire, but no points lost, no points gained.
Okay, thanks Steve. I can tell you that the only person still with all 3 lives left intact is Lee, and the remaining 2 contestants have each lost a life. However, we have a tie at the beginning, at the lead, sorry. Chris Curtis on 8, Martin Riley on 8, Lee on 3.
All to play for. Give both. Who played Sapphire and...
Martin Riley.
David McCallum and Joanna Lundett.
9 points. What nationality is David McCallum?
Lee Warburton.
Canadian.
No. Lose a life. The obvious one, he was Scottish. From the 13th of March 2007 onwards, who became the first Scotsman to have his portrait appear on new UK £20 notes?
Lee Warburton.
Adam Smith.
Is correct, and didn't they get ripped off on University Challenge last week with that one? Give any year during the life of Adam Smith. No peeping.
Lee Warburton.
1730.
He was born in 1723 and lived more than 7 years. 1 point, you're on 5. How wide or tall is a cube containing 728 cubic inches?
Chris Curtis.
1 foot.
1 point. Next question. Subsequently created Baron of Bedwelty. Who succeeded Michael Foote as leader?
Martin Riley.
Neil Kinnock.
Neil Kinnock is correct. 10 points. In whose video did Kinnock appear?
Chris Curtis.
Tracy Ullman.
Is correct. 10 points and all to play for. On April the 19th, 1987, which family made their...
Martin Riley.
Simpsons.
No wine bonus, but a full point puts you 1 away from victory. The Simpsons. What does the O in O.J. Simpson?
Martin Riley.
Oranthal.
Oranthal is the correct answer. Now you have crossed the line and you're on 12. And that's a phenomenal win. We will be going to talk to these players in just a moment. That's another magnificent victory. Martin, many, many congratulations, and talk to you in just a moment. What a round again, a magnificent display of speed and knowledge on the buzzers. I'm in awe of these guys. They bring me out into an absolute palpitating fit, so just asking the questions. I don't know what it's like playing, but Keith, you've played twice, you've played against some great players. What was it like today?
Terrific competition. Same as previous time. Very good. Very difficult.
Yeah, do you think you could have ever made it through to that final line? You know,
With a bit of luck, yes. Yeah.
Your mate here, Scott, Brain of Britain this year. Do you get a bit more time to think about the questions?
You do, yeah. You get you hear all the question plus 10 seconds to think about it. So
yeah. So desperately unlucky with two answers: the Back to the Future and the Mason-Dixie line. And I'm so reluctant to say, sorry, you timed out on that one, but I guess I had to do it. You must be kicking yourself a little bit as well, because you must have ultimately left with that decision.
Oh yeah.
I've got to make it.
I mean, obviously, with the pressure being on I confused Dixon and Dixie for some reason. I identified the Back to the Future film very early, but it was just which one, because it's the scene which links part 2 and part 3.
Yeah.
So, on another day.
The best scene in film history as far as I'm concerned, and this is the best quiz in film history as far as I can see. Lee, once again, you made a fist of it, you were left with 3 lives and you had something in hand, 2 people in front of you, but you must have seen some light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yes, I was quite pleased. I was glad to get into the final round. Might have been a bit lucky with other people dropping points at crucial stages, but I think I could have, in the final round, been a bit more bold.
Yeah, I've played a lot of quiz with you, Lee, and I always say, come on, stick the knife in there. Any particular answers spring to mind which you wish you'd have buzzed in?
No, just quite a few sort of geography, geology-related ones where I knew the answer quite quickly.
Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Chris. I thought you had a chance the last round. I thought you had a chance this round you participated in. So close.
Yeah, the last time I played I was too gung-ho, and this time there were about 3 or 4 in that final round that I should have gone for more quickly than I did. So it's a question of getting that balance.
Which brings us on to today's winner. Martin rang me up a couple of days ago from Lytham St Anne's, and I quickly typed his name into Google and discovered it was the 15-1 4 grand finals and a 15-1 champion. And he opened his legs and showed his class today, I think, Martin. Did you have any doubts? Did you play within yourself on the first 2 rounds?
Yeah. I'm very nervous about doing this, and because there's high calibre of opposition here, you know, when you see the names, and not having done anything like this for a long, long time, you know, because I don't actually do quizzes much, pub quizzes or anything like that anymore, and it was sort of pacing myself getting into the swing of it, and just trying not to do it too quickly.
Having asked the question, I thought a particularly impressive aspect of your game was on the solid knowledge. So the Mexico World Cup, how sure were you there?
Fairly sure, but I was half thinking, hang on, what was the Olympics and what was the World Cup, because they were very close together, and so I was sort of fairly confident. But
and what do you think about this Scott Dawson giving you 2 answers on a plate?
Well, the Mason-Dixon I'd have known, but the Back to the Future I wouldn't have guessed that at all until he said 3, and then I thought, well, it's got to be 2.
You're going to have to get the trilogy.
Yeah.
But for the time being, I have for you over here a Pairs Cyclopedia, from which we'll be extracting lots of questions over the next few rounds. A cheque for £100 within there. A place in the final at Aylesbury on the 9th of December, when hopefully you'll be seeing Chris Curtis again, if not some more players. And a very heavy round of appreciation for everybody watching and participating. Well done, Martin. A fantastic winner.
Thank you.